The rank of deputy inspector for the NYPD, had a very impressive career, wrote a book about his life called Once a Cop. Corey Pegues is our law enforcement expert analyst today. Corey, this case, it's so heartbreaking. Kid cases, when you have a child homicide, isn't there just something about it that just hits a little differently? Of course, all homicides are awful, but when there's a child victim, isn't there just a little bit of extra heartbreak and a little bit of extra pressure for everybody involved?
Well, I don't know if it's a lot more pressure, but I can tell you it's a lot more emotional. When you're dealing with young people, when you're dealing with elderly, or you're dealing with cases of like people that have physical disabilities. You know, those are really, really tough cases. And I can't commend police officers around the nation enough, because you don't really get training to deal with this type of stuff. That's one aspect of policing that it just doesn't happen. You become a cop, you become a detective, you get these cases, and it's up to you to internalize these things yourself. And like some people will go to counseling, you know, just like in the police academy. Before I became a cop, I had to go sit down and see a psychiatrist, right? That's part of the vetting process. You know, the next time I saw a psychiatrist, after 21 years, never again. And wow. it amazes me how, and I worked in some of the most violent precincts, if not in New York, in America. I've seen so many homicides. I've seen so much, you know, stuff, but it's up to you to internalize it and fix it yourself. And that's one component of policing that I think needs to be fixed. Even, Julie, if you just even say, every 3 years, have a cop sit down and talk to somebody to debrief and wash some of this stuff out of their head, especially in violent places. So it's a really, really tough job, and police officers just go along to get along, and that's why I commend them for the work that they do. But it's very emotional when you're dealing with children, especially something like this. This was failed. I think police might have some culpability on this also, if you really drill it down and look at this. This kid was missing for 2 years, 2 whole years. There was some police contact at some point. You know, child welfare, 5 years old, maybe schooling. It's just sad all the way around.